In the short span of its existence, Omniheroes has made its mark on the mobile gaming community. We've had an exciting journey, so let's explore the various aspects that make Omniheroes a shining beacon of light in the world of gacha games with this harshly honest review.
Harness Valkyrie's radiance. Embrace your path to glory.
Let's just get it out of the way. Let's talk about the visuals. Omniheroes boasts stylized 2D graphics reminiscent of old-school manga. It's an art style that immediately sets it apart from other mobile RPGs. The attention to detail in character design is uniquely captivating. For example, let's look at the contrast between these three characters. It's almost astounding they maintain the same space. This type of hero diversity makes for what would fit anybody's preference. One of the game's standout features is its diverse roster of heroes and team-building elements. These units are meticulously crafted with their own unique abilities and synergies. The multiple faction bonuses adds depth and strategy to gameplay, making it more than just a simple idle game. How a standard gacha game has 4 elements, or 5 if you're lucky, Omniheroes has 6 faction, 6 Valkyrie, and 5 rune synergies, each with their own beneficial capabilities, making meta teams a thing of the past. Theory crafting and critical thinking are much more important here, and you won't get away with just idling by. You will actively need to think outside the box for this one, as Omniheroes has a lot more gameplay than just tapping your screen mindlessly. It's a game that requires strategy and planning. You must assemble the right team of heroes, build them as much as possible, and strategically position them for battles. Okay. Now it's time to detail the gameplay features. The depth of gameplay will keep you engaged for hours every single day, and here's some of the main ones everyone will get to enjoy. The Forgotten Land maintains remnants of old-school gacha RPG dungeon progression. Classic 5v5 arena is here because of course it has to be, as people were inclined to crush our enemies with no due remorse, and Omniheroes lets you explore that outlet in many ways. There's more arena modes to explore than the basic modes, so your PvP onslaught can continue to your heart's content. The Gloom Woods can help regulate some of both that PvP fury and that gambler's itch you may get while indulging in the game. You get to play blackjack, with the only real gamble being whether or not you get the best rewards. I think this is a great channel for those inclined to play minigames without the risk of losing some of your sanity if it goes wrong. Then on top of all these lower level features, there's loads more to unlock if you're dedicated enough. Of course, no game is just going to throw everything at you at once, but Omniheroes feels fluid and deliberate. Your account level determines your character level, so there's an emphasis on progressing your entire account and not just one specific carry. Account level is the name of the game with Omniheroes, and their way of going about limiting you is quite interesting. You don't really get to boost your account through the story too much. Instead, you'll mostly be focusing on daily and weekly quests. Yeah, you remember those annoying little daily quests every gacha game has? Well, the reason you usually hate these so much is because they don't actually do anything. Maybe you get an arena ticket, or a chunk of change, probably a single summon for the grand prize, and even though every developer has them, the daily quests just feel bad. So what's the solution then? All that experience you boost your account level with, jammed in all these little treasure chests. That's right, ain't no buy account level button here. We're all dabbling in whichever gameplay areas we prefer, and whether we do it in 10 minutes or 10 hours, the XP in that chest stays the same. So for those concerned about the pay-to-win aspect, Omniheroes is remarkably free-to-play friendly. While you can make in-game purchases, it's entirely possible to progress and enjoy the game without spending a dime thanks to the sheer amount of content for advancing. The Oracle Temple, Synergy Archive, and even the Valkyrie Manor can help you grow stronger to tackle those tough stages. And speaking of Valkyrie Manor, I would be amiss not to mention how important this feature is to the longevity of the game. With the previous discussions on the art, I maybe foreshadowed this, but we need to talk about the waifus.
You see what I'm saying?
No doubt if you've played for even a few minutes, you've encountered a waifu. The alluring aroma of waifu character design extends into all facets of gacha gaming. Gacha idol games in particular, which encompass all ages of gamers. Whether you started on Wilma from the Flintstones or
This is neutron.
waifus can foster a sense of community among players who share a passion for their favorite characters, leading to fan art, discussions, and events. And trust me, a devoted weeb is a certified honor. That's just how you know you've made it in the industry. And of course, with all of the changing updates, we haven't had too much time to indulge in the PvP meta, so I'll just go ahead and go over some of the updated tier lists while I do some combat with you. Basically, I'm going to be using this PvP segment to talk to you a little bit more casually while covering some of the changes I wish I made in the tier list. For those of you that didn't see it, I did analyze a blogger's tier list. I'll go ahead and have a link to that in the description if you want to check it out. But I actually ended up averaging the blogger's ratings with my own ratings, and it kind of skewed all of the ratings of the heroes. For example, on the Valianters here, it seems that Atropos has been upgraded to the God tier, which is what I wanted to put her in initially, so I averaged her out to like an A, I think. Obviously, everyone's catching up, and it's clear that she is a God tier unit. So is Makaria. Nyx is kind of lower, just like I predicted as well. But all in all, I think that the tier lists are getting slightly more accurate now as time goes on, so if you want, here are some good Valianters for you. Next up is the Ethereals. Katarina and Mastema have been moved up to the S tier. That's good. I think that's where they belong. Karnak is now in the God tier. Excellent, because he was in the F tier at first. I'm really glad that this tier list is a lot more accurate. If you're interested in me covering this tier list in detail, go ahead and let me know. I'll have links to this list in a pinned comment if you want to check it out, but they update it pretty regularly, so you can count on it being accurate. As for the Avengers, of course all of the healers are high tier, but actually Solomon took quite a hit. Solomon was initially a God tier unit because everybody really likes Taunt, especially for PvP. It's just really good in a lot of these gacha games, but I think people really oversold him at first. Janna was lackluster before, but now people are starting to use her and realize that her extra stranger is very valuable and she's a super strong carry, so she is now where she belongs in the God tier. But they also have synergies over here. I'm not really going over every single bullet point here, but if you want to pause, then feel free to pause and read whatever you want. I actually really like the Avengers bonus because I love that your whole team basically just gets a chance to be revived. Next is the Mystifiers, pretty much completely backwards from what I thought it was. My experience with Oss is he was S tier. I've also seen a few comments saying that he was S tier as well. Talos is in the God tier now. Not sure what's going on with this side of the Mystifiers list, if Corrode is not being considered correctly, or if maybe they just haven't seen a God tier Corrode team yet, in which case I understand. As for the Doomsdayers, this looks pretty good. In general, Reflect is a little bit harder to build than Corrode, so I can see why some of the ratings are more spread out here. And last but not least is the Glorians, and before I get back to ending my video, I just want to go ahead and give a big shout out to Balthazar and Nevermore here. They're Discord contributors, and I really appreciate the work that you put into these lists. Glorians in general are pretty good. These lists are pretty good. If you want, go for the God tier units that they've labeled, but don't be afraid to experiment with some characters. Of course, any character is good in the beginning, but in general, whenever you start getting to the late game, you might want to start relying on lists like these. And yeah, that was my harshly honest review of Omniheroes. In conclusion, Omniheroes is not just another mobile RPG in passing. It's a true work of art that elevates its bland genre to new heights. And this pretty much wraps up our entire Omniheroes playlist. If you have any more content you're interested in seeing for this game, like if you want me to keep up with the tier lists, I really need you to let me know in a comment, because right now we have a pretty solid playlist of almost an hour's worth of Omniheroes content. If you haven't seen any of these videos on screen, I'll have them at the end screen along with the playlist. Feel free to check all that out. I would really appreciate it if you guys left a like on the video. If not, I understand. But if you do like the video, feel free to join my Discord. And other than that, y'all, that's gonna do it for me today, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.